Here we have a match from Elijah Dorsey and Jozef Chen last Thursday on WNO. This is the highlight that everybody's been talking about, the inside trip from the attempted single leg by Dorsey, but I think there were a lot of other things in this match that we could go over that other people have not really mentioned, and that I think they're actually hidden gems you could take away from here. The first being, we can talk about this K-guard counter from Jozef Chen as Elijah tries to enter K-guard from Jozef's stand-up out of the closed guard. Jozef actually denies him the exposure behind for backside 50-50 that he would need by backstepping so far that it becomes difficult for Elijah to actually insert the hook anymore through the legs and thread them. And the more he tries, the more Jozef is able to fight the legs and actually show up and appear on the other side, almost passing Elijah. So he tries to come back in. It looks like he's looking for a tripod pass here, but Elijah is able to lock him back up in the closed guard. Another gem that we can pull out of this match is when Joe stands up, he's immediately knocked back down with what's basically a dummy sweep from the closed guard by Elijah. Now, a lot of times when this happens, the top player will attempt to get back up, especially someone like Elijah, who's a very strong, explosive athlete. He'll look to scramble from here and gain top position, but if you look closely, Chen pinches his knees together and then lifts Elijah's ankles up off the body. And so by putting Elijah's ankles up in the mat, even a very strong, explosive athlete like Elijah will not be able to scramble if he can't put his feet on the ground. It totally nullifies his athleticism, and this allows Chen to actually come back up and start to regain top position. From there, he tries to look to force this camping position in half guard, pseudo half guard. He's pushing into Elijah's knee shield, and he's looking for an underhook. In response, Elijah tries to open him up with a butterfly sweep, and I think that this triggers something that's instinctual to Chen at this point, where if he feels butterfly hooks inside, he's going to start looking for riding those underhooks and looking for an underhook, which will allow him to do his signature tripod passing. So I want to talk a little bit about his tripod passing here, and one part of this that we should go into watching this with knowing is that a lot of people don't think about this, but with the tripod passing, the fact that Joe Chen's head is on the side of Elijah's head makes it so that in this position, it's very difficult for Elijah to even see what's going on, which you'll see plays a big role in how easy it is for Chen to use his free hand to post and move Elijah's legs and walk over them. So this is a very difficult position to deal with, especially because you can't even see what's going on at the lower body as the bottom person. So when Joe enters into the tripod, one thing you want to notice is that he immediately steps up his legs very high. He doesn't just get into the tripod and then start trying to pass. He steps his legs up all the way to Elijah's hip line, which allows him to be more stable and not be pushed off and down Elijah's body. And then he takes his free hand, he starts to step over Elijah's left leg. And this is very difficult. It's a very awkward position for the bottom person where they only have one butterfly hook in and the other leg is being pulled all the way back to the center line, because it makes them increasingly flattened out. So Elijah's going to try to lift Chen to regain his butterfly hooks, and it makes it very exhausting for Elijah. He's trying to do that, and opportunistically Chen does a hip switch and gets past Elijah's remaining butterfly hooks. So now they're almost in like a chest-to-chest half guard, and as Elijah opens up his arms to try to regain his guard, Chen switches his head position and starts tripod passing on the other side. This is, a quality in its own that makes difficult passing even better, because switching sides is very disorienting for the bottom person, especially when they can't see, like we talked about. And as Chen comes up on this side now, he's playing a dilemma between trying to pummel his legs to the inside and also crush the knees down to the outside. So as he's trying to pummel his legs, he feels that's not there. If that is not there, then the other one will be. And if you notice, Chen is actually bringing his legs up so high that they're almost touching his elbows. So his knee and elbow connection happens on the underhook side, and he's able to actually slant Elijah's knees all the way to Elijah's right and crush them down to the point where if Elijah tries to open up now, it allows Chen to just settle right into a mount and get past the legs. Beautiful pass. He solidifies the pass. He ends up in a basically a 3/4 guard, but that's no issue. He's looking to gain a gift wrap, but Elijah has his arm around his neck. Chen senses that he can still shoot his knee all the way to Elijah's head and then sit back across both butt cheeks, making sure that Elijah stays between his knees. And now when he passes him by, he opportunistically throws his leg over to trap Elijah's arm. And now, one thing you'll want to notice is that it may look like a little detail, but the trapping leg that Jozef uses always remains on bottom. We want to have that on bottom and then have the support leg cross over and not the other way around, because if the support leg were on bottom and the trapping leg were on top of that one, there would be a little bit of space where, since Elijah's arm is behind him, limp-armed a little bit, he would actually be able to pull that back out. But since Chen put the trapping arm on bottom and then laced the support arm over top, there's no chance for Elijah really to pull it back out. And as he settles into the position, he's looking to gain top hand position with his bottom support arm so that Elijah can't even move it back and defend, and then getting his chin over his own hand to block Elijah from grabbing his hand. If you notice, it's very subtle, but he's putting his chin over Elijah's over his own hand so that Elijah can't grab Chen's hand to grip bite it and pull it back down. And as he tries to reach back up, Chen pulls his hand higher, being the higher man behind him, and pushes his hand back down. And now it's such a simple race for Chen to win because his hand's already on top. He locks in the strangle and finishes Elijah very quickly.